Hello and welcome to Thursday. I know, I'm sorry it's on a Friday, but I was busy filming another episode of Returner's Magic Should Be Special yesterday, and I completely lost track of time because I was just having so much fun, and then I was editing it, and then by the time I was done editing, I was like, well, it's already time for bed. So anyway, I'm going to do it today. And today I wanted to do some recommendations about some shows that I might not like the most, but you guys might. I still watch them. They're ones that I have watched. I have not just not watched them. I've watched them, but I'm not the biggest fan. And I'll tell you why when I get to it. Alright, let's go. First up is one that is super popular. You can probably already tell, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, this one I've watched up to like this season with, I think it's Jotaro. Can't remember his name exactly, but it was him with the dog and the older JoJo there, and yeah, it's just them, and craziness ensued. I can see why people would like it. I just thought it was a little too silly with all the poses and stuff for me, so it wasn't really my cup of tea, but I can see why people do like it. So that's why I do want to recommend it, because it is a fun show to watch. It is quite fun, but just wasn't something that was what I would enjoy, so I didn't continue watching it. Doesn't mean it's bad. Next up is another one that's pretty popular, Fire Force. Now, I started watching this one, and I didn't really know what it was all about or anything, and oh man, I just found that the story moved really fast and in a really weird way. I don't know if it's just me, but it's got an interesting story. It's got interesting powers, and it is interesting. All around, it is an interesting show. But it wasn't for me just because of how the story was moving along and how things were kind of playing out. It was almost like the God of High School in a sense, where the God of High School just kind of kept showing you things, and you're like, what just happened? It didn't really explain it because they cut things out of the manga, or is it the manhwa? So I don't know if that's the same thing they did with Fire Force, but I didn't quite enjoy that. But it is enjoyable because there is really cool characters and a really cool story and powers. So it is an enjoyable one. Now next up, I know people are going to agree that they don't like it, but it's another popular one, Boruto. Now, I don't know, I didn't continue it because it was weird. It was just a little too weird for me because they didn't have the same powers, like the same ninjutsu and stuff necessarily that they had in Naruto. That made me love Naruto. They didn't have the same quirkiness and stuff as Naruto and all that makes you love the original. And I watched this one because I wanted to see their kids and them as adults and what they're doing and how they're becoming parents and stuff, which is why I want to recommend it, because it is really cool seeing them as adults with, wherever they are in the village and with their own kids and seeing their kids and how their kids are. And I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of Boruto. I mean, he's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of him as a MC, so that's also why I didn't necessarily continue it. But it is a fun show to watch, and if you do enjoy Naruto, I would recommend this one just to give it a shot and see if maybe you would like it, because it is their families, which is really cool because you get to see who they end up with and everything. So it is worth a shot. And then last but not least is Yashahime. This one, it is good. This would be my favorite, oh my goodness, out of all the ones that I just recommended, because I did watch this one all the way through and I did enjoy it. The only reason I am saying that it's not my favorite and one that I would be like, oh, I love it so much, I want to recommend it like crazy, because it is the continuation of Inuyasha, which is a masterpiece. And this one it didn't add up to that in a sense. It had the same kind of ideas, but it also wasn't as good as Inuyasha. I don't know. You can't beat it. You cannot beat Inuyasha. Inuyasha is just so good. And then you don't really see Inuyasha or Kagome much in it at all. You don't get to see much of the original cast, which I get it because it is continuation, so you're seeing their kids, which also is why this one is fun to watch. But then it's like, I want to see my favorite characters and where they are and how they are with their kids and stuff. But you don't really get to see too much of that. So that's why I'm going to put this one here, and why I didn't enjoy it as much as I probably could have. But it's still enjoyable. It's still a good watch. I still recommend it because it is really good. And I love Moroha. I'm not going to say it, but the parents of Moroha, you probably already know, but like, she's got both their powers, and it is awesome. Oh, it's awesome. So I do recommend this one more than the others. Alright, that is it for my recommendations this time around. I'll see you next time.